Beginning. To sketch the field, ABCD has one uneven edge, the uneven edge at the top. Okay. At equal intervals of 6 meters along the bottom, they measure the height of 7 meters, 8 meters, 10 meters, 11 meters, 13, 15, and X. Using the trapezoidal rule of the field, try and figure out what X is. So look, first thing is write down the trapezoidal rule. It's width over 2, and then it's just going to be, I have it memorized this way: first plus last, 2 times remaining. Okay? So all you really ever have to do is mark off the first and the last. The last is X and the first is 7, and the width is 6. So A equals, can anybody tell me what 6 over 2 is? If I replace 6 for the width, 6 over 2? 3. So just put 3 in at the start. Sorry, that's still meant to be A and not 6. Okay, so it's just going to be 3 into the first. Okay, the first is going to be 7, the last is going to be X, then it's 2 times the remaining, which is going to be 8 plus 10, 8 plus 10 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15. Okay, all we have to concentrate on now is, you just have to concentrate on the part underlined in red, because this part is what we need to add together, right? And then we're going to put it beside the X. So it's going to be 8 plus 10 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15, close, and what we get there is 114, okay? So we're going to get 3 times 7 plus X plus 114. Now that that's done, we're going to get 3 times 121 plus X. Now what does it say? It says the full thing is 410. I got that from the question. Any questions thus far? Yes, Harry. What's the what? Is multiply both sides, multiply this side with 3, and what we're going to get is 363 plus 3x equals 410. Okay, 410 minus 363 equals 3x. Can everybody tell me what 410 minus 363 is? 57, is it? That's perfect, because 47. Okay, 47 equals 3x. Now, it's not, so guys, x equals 47 over 3. That's the height, okay? And it's measured in meters. So just make sure you have meters at the end. Okay, now that's done. We're on number 13. You could turn into decimal, that's no bother either. Okay, the sketch shows a piece of land which borders the side of a straight rod AB. The length of the AB is 63 meters. At equal intervals along AB, perpendicular measurements are made to the boundary as shown in the graph. Okay, first thing we need to do is count how many areas we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 areas, or 7 widths, equals 63. Then the width of one of them will be 9. This means each one of these is 9. Okay, that's the first thing you gotta do. Now that you've done that, the next thing you gotta do is you gotta figure out what is your first and last height. Okay, the last height is easy, it's 14. 14 is the last. Because the first one, you can see the first one doesn't go directly up, does it? If you draw a line, it doesn't go directly up. Because it doesn't go directly up, it means the first height is 0. Okay, and also what we got to do next is use the trapezoidal rule. So area equals W over 2. First plus last plus 2 times remaining. Okay, so it's just a matter of getting this done now. Okay, so A equals 9 over 2. Let's look at the board. 9 over 2, 0. Plus 14 plus 2 times remaining 8 plus 13 plus 18 plus 17 plus 14 plus 6. Now because this is a calculator type question, all what you really got to do is just replicate exactly what you see on the calculator. So it's going to start off with 9 over 2. And then you just open up your bracket. And what do we say that was? 0 plus 14. I don't even need to put in the 0 to be honest. Plus 2 times. Open up again, then just put all these in. 8 plus 13 plus 18 plus 17 plus 4 plus 6. Now count your brackets, 2 brackets at the end. 1. Oh, sorry. 14. Now count your brackets at the end. The first bracket is this one here, and then we have the second bigger bracket behind it. And what we get is 747. Please remember your units. 747 what? Meters squared. Okay. Now that's done. The land is valued at €380,000 per hectare. Find the value of this piece of land, knowing that 1 hectare is 10,000 meters squared. So what I have to do is, if I want to convert this into hectares, what I need to do is I need to get my 747 and I need to divide it by 10,000 to figure out what fraction of a hectare is it. And then I multiply that answer by 380,000 to get the valuation on it. So if I put all that into the calculator, what would I get? Divided by 10,000. Anybody get it yet?
28,386.
So 28,306. 28,386. Okay? So the valuation of the land is 28,386. Okay? Check out this one is number 14. Okay? The diagram shows a quadrant of a circle of radius 10. Using trapezoidal rule, estimate the area of the quadrant. Now, I'm expecting you to get that the first height is 10 and the last height is 0. Because it doesn't go directly up. Most of you will get that handy. Now, using the formula for the area of the circle, pi r squared, find the area of the quadrant, okay? What they're asking you to do there is, what is the actual radius of this circle? It's 10. So look, get pi 10 squared. That gives you the full circle. Divide the answer by 4. And that will give you the area of your quadrant, or your quarter.
We already have the...
From part 1, yeah? But you're going to compare the answer of part 1 to the area of part 2. So that's what the third question says. Find the area between 1 and 2. Basically, answer of 1 minus answer of 2. Perfect. Hence, calculate the percentage error correct to the nearest integer. Now, percentage error is something we did a while back, okay, but we'll go over again. It's error divided by actual value. Now the actual value is the answer from part 2. Okay, so the error, answer of part 3 divided by answer of part 2 multiplied by 100 over 1. That gives you your percentage error. Finally, number 4, the diagram shows the same quadrat divided into 5 strips of equal width. Use the trapezoidal rule to estimate the area of the quadrant. The general rule is, lads, 5 strips is more accurate than 4 strips. 10 strips is more accurate than 5 strips. The more strips you have, the more accurate your answer is. So what you should find is the answer for part 6 is much closer to the answer of part 2 than the answer of part 1 is to the answer of part 2. Long story short, the answer for 5 strips is closer to the answer of part 2. It's more accurate. Okay? That's what should happen. Now, given the same quadrant divided into 8 strips of equal width, write down your estimate for the area without doing any calculations. Do you know how you do that? Just pick an answer that's much closer to the real answer from part 2. So look, pick an answer closer to answer in part 2 I know. Pick an answer closest to answer in part 2. Dan, answer in part 5. Okay, it will be very confusing until you do it yourself, but please just look at this later on and go through it. Okay, you'll be alright. Number 15, alright to move on. Number 15 is the front face of a stone wall of a ruined castle is shown in the diagram. The distances are all measured in meters. The heights are measured in intervals of 2.4 meters along the baseline. Use the trapezoidal rule to calculate the front face of stone wall. Everybody in the class will get that. The first height is 3.2, the last is 2.2. Use your standard formula. Width is 2.4. Everybody will get that. Now, the trick is part 2. In part 2, what it basically says is, archaeologists estimate that the answer of part 1 is 16% of the original wall. Find the area of the original wall. So if we write down 16% equals answer of part 1. How do you turn 16% into 100%? If you divide by 16, you get 1%, and then if you multiply by 100, you get 100%. Long story short, divide by 16, multiply by 100, and you get your answer. Okay? Next part, which is number 16. Now, number 16, okay, is the depth of water in a river is 20 meters, was measured at intervals of 4 meters, starting from one bank and then at the other. The depth of water, okay, of a river 12 meters, a river with 20 meters was measured at intervals of 4 meters. So look, this is the top of the river. Okay, and we're going to assume it's a flat line, no waves, okay? And then what's going to happen is we're going to have different lines coming down. First one being 0.6, then we have 0.8, then we have 1.4, then we have 2.1, then for 16 we have 1.9, and then for 20 we have 0.7. Now, I did make this slightly too long, so would you just, that's the end, okay? That's the end of the question. So look, shade this in like so. And you can see that you actually still have an area question, don't you? So, everybody knows how to get the area, right? Now, the area is basically, everybody knows how to get the area. The first one's 0.6, the last one is 0.7. Do what you've done successfully several other times. Now, there is a catch to this, and everybody please look up the catch. The catch is, the river has a depth, has a width. So, if you imagine it's the same, if you imagine that's the flow, I'm just after drawing the full river there, okay? So if I was to shade this in blue, that's the face of the river, and that's it going backwards. So do you remember that formula? Area by length. Do you remember we did the area of a cross section? Area by length. You would have remembered it when we did something like this. Remember when we'd have a square, alright? And you have to find the area of a box. And what you do is you'd multiply the area of the face by the area of the face by the length. This is the same type of question. Answer of part 1 multiply by 20 is your answer. Okay? You got it? Because it goes back 20 meters. So, alright? And that's going to give you volume. So the volume is area multiplied by length. So that's what you have to remember for question 16. Okay? On number 17, I didn't put up 17 yet. You actually have to find out what is the height at x equals 0. So you have to find out x equals 0, x equals 1, x equals 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now the great thing is, a lot of them are really easy. When you're at x equals 4, the height is 18. When you're at x equals 3, the height is somewhere in between, so we can't get it for certain. The height of x equals 2 is 6. Okay? Now, there's a way of doing this, and I'm going to show you the way of doing it now. We have a calculator function, and we've drawn graphs before. So all you have to do is go to modes, table, and then you got to put in your equation. Now, it starts at 0, ends at 5. And then step means, is it going up in ones? It is going up in ones, isn't it? 0 to 1, 1 to 2, so it's going up in ones. Now you can check your answer. The answer for the first one is 2, the second one 3, third one 6, so 2, 3, what do I have to remember? 2, 3, 11 and 27. So 2, 3, 11, 27, all from your calculator. Now you know to do the trapezoidal rule like you did last time, don't you? These are all the heights. What's the first and the last height? First height is 2, last height is 27. Alright? Once you do that, you find out what your answer is to part 1. And it goes, the actual area between the curve and this is the actual value. Find the percentage error. Percentage error we already did today. It's error over actual. Now what is the actual value? It says it here. 21 over 2 over 3, and then you multiply your answer by 100 over 1. Okay? So basically, long story short, to get the error, it's the answer of part 2 minus the answer of part 1. The actual value is not answer of part 2 minus answer of part 1, excuse me. It's the number in part 3 minus the answer in part 2. That gives you error. Your actual value is 21 and 2/3 square units, and then you multiply by 100 over 1. Comment on how effective you think the trapezoidal rule is in this case. How many strips did we use in this case, lads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We used 5 strips, okay? If we use 10 strips, we'd get a much more accurate value. Or technically speaking, we used 6 heights, didn't we? If we use more than 6 heights, we get a more accurate answer. Okay, last thing I'm going to do today, you can start to find the videos. Okay, what you need to do is you type in my name, which most of you know backwards. Once you do this, YouTube have changed what they've done recently, right? So you don't go directly to the videos. You go to the channel icon, which is this icon here. Alright, so that's where I'm still videoing here. Shh. Okay, you go to videos, and once you go into videos, okay, what you're going to see is uploads. Press uploads, turns into playlists. Okay, now what I told you yesterday was that the playlist in question is not the 6th year 2013-2014, it's the 6th year ordinary level with the 66 videos. You click on that. Okay, and we're working on videos 58 through 63 somewhere, okay? And to get this, you see the numbers on the right hand side. So all you gotta do is you'll see this little dark icon here, and just keep scrolling it down until you get down to numbers 60, 61 is where we usually are working from. So look, there's one of them there, number 58. Click on it and you're in. Okay, that's it. Okay? Alright guys, so